They call him the Magic Man.
Had a lovely run courtesy of Magic in the saddle.
He has an extraordinary ability to get horses to relax underneath him.
The Magic Man, João Moreira.
Widely regarded as the greatest jockey in the world at the moment, João Moreira has a knack of winning. Every 3 races, in fact, a staggering ratio in horse racing. If he were able to work his magic in the 2017 Champions Mile, the 32-year-old Brazilian would become the first man to triumph in Hong Kong's Big 3 races in the same season, having already secured the Hong Kong Derby and QE2 Cup. Would the Magic Man continue his fine spell on Rapper Dragon, or would another jockey blaze through to victory? With a population of over 7 million people, Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated places in the world. It's also home to more skyscrapers than any other city. The International Commerce Centre here stands some 100 metres taller than New York's Empire State Building. Everything is big in Hong Kong, and when it comes to sport, nothing is bigger than horse racing.
I think the racing here is it's very fast, like the city. It's very cosmopolitan.
You can obviously hear the other horses around you, the thundering of the hooves, the breathing.
The grandstand is really close to the track, so you really feel the crowd and cheer you on up straight.
One of the premier races on the calendar here is the Champions Mile. Staged by the Hong Kong Jockey Club, the 1,600-metre Group 1 flat race is open to horses aged 3 years and older. First run in 2001, it has a prize fund of $1.8 million and attracts both local and international entries. The executive director of racing business and operations at the Hong Kong Jockey Club is Anthony Kelly.
Well, we have about 0.7% of the world's horse races, but we have in the region of 23 horses in the world's top 100. So those numbers are disparate. They just don't reconcile together. So you can tell from there that if we are at the top table. If we're not the chairman, then we're pretty close to being the chairman.
The Champions Mile is held at the Sha Tin racecourse. The venue does not merely host races, but it also stables the 1,200 horses that fall under Hong Kong's jurisdiction. With a population density peaking at 130,000 people per square kilometre, there's little room for people in this part of the world, let alone livestock. The 24 licensed trainers here have to come up with novel methods in the limited space they have available to them. 62-year-old John Size currently heads the Hong Kong trainers' rankings and has twice achieved victory in the Champions Mile. His horse, Contentment, finished second here last year, but he was back with a view to going one better this time around. Winning at the big races is ultimately what drives John Size and his team.
Well, there's no key to anything in life. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I think you just have to remain dedicated to whatever it is, whatever you set yourself to do. And if you can aim for that and work your way back from that point, well, you're somewhere near the point of success that's required.
Although Contentment had history in the Champions Mile, the odds-on favourite for victory was Rapper Dragon, who clinched the prestigious Hong Kong Derby in March. The chestnut gelding would be reunited with João Moreira, who steered him to Derby glory. Of the 9 times the Brazilian jockey had saddled the 4-year-old prior to the Champions Mile, he had only failed to win once. Moreira's journey to the top has defied multiple setbacks. His father died when he was just 7, and he subsequently lived in poverty. In his spare time, he'd ride his neighbour's horses bareback, using a clothesline as a bridle. He now sits at the top of the Hong Kong Jockey Championship, with over 140 victories this season.
If you're able to convince the trainers and the owners that you can do it, and you get a little bit of support, you're going to be successful. And I'm fortunately quite lucky on that part, because it seems like most of the trainers are quite keen on using me on some of their horses. It's very special to be sitting on top of a good horse, especially in Hong Kong. Horse racing here is very tough, very competitive, and fortunately I've been sitting on top of some good horses.
Moreira was confident of guiding Rapper Dragon to victory in the Champions Mile. However, he would have to make history to do so. Never had the winner of the Hong Kong Derby gone on to win the mile. Along with John Size's Contentment, the horse tipped to provide the strongest challenge was Beauty Only, who would be ridden by Australian Zac Purton.
And you need a lot of luck. You need to draw the right barrier, you have to have the track bias in your favour on the day, you've got to have the right tempo in the race, and then you've got to hope that you get every chance as well. So there's a lot of variables that go into it, and then when you do finally win, that's what makes it that much more special, because you know, you go from halfway through the race, you think, oh, you know, this is going to be tough, to getting it done, and you know, you got the relief, you got the satisfaction, you got the adrenaline. You know, it's a great feeling.
Last year's runner-up, Contentment, was drawn in the inside gate for John Size, while Hong Kong's top two jockeys, João Moreira and Zac Purton, left from gates 5 and 2 on Rapper Dragon and Beauty Only, respectively. However, 4 furlongs into the 2017 mile, tragedy struck. Moreira's ride, Rapper Dragon, pulled up with what was later diagnosed as a fractured pelvis. Despite the efforts of the veterinary staff, both on the track and in the equine hospital afterwards, the horse had to be put down. In the absence of the odds-on favourite, the John Size-trained Contentment, saddled by Brett Preble in the white silks with blue spots, steamed ahead. Zac Purton chased along the rail, but could only finish second on Beauty Only. Last year's runner-up, Contentment, was this year's victor. It was a third Champions Mile success for both trainer John Size and jockey Brett Preble. But thoughts were very much with Rapper Dragon, arguably Hong Kong's Horse of the Year, in the aftermath of the race.